Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if it's your first time here, thanks for joining. I'm Almer Saber, and today's day 3 of my 30-day lockdown challenge. So today's day 3 of my challenge, and honestly, things are moving along pretty well. For anybody that watched yesterday's video, you'll know that I ran into a little bit of a setback yesterday morning, but thankfully was able to get right through that and get back on track. I'll leave a link to yesterday's video up above me here, so you can check it out if you haven't done so already. Please also don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos. So yeah, other than that little hiccup yesterday, things are moving along quite well. I'm waking up early, I'm eating well, I'm exercising, I'm even starting to read again. And in today's video, I actually want to share with you guys the latest book that I've read. The Motivation Manifesto, 9 Declarations to Claim Your Personal Power by Brendon Burchard. Now make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to share with you how you can get your very own copy of the Motivation Manifesto absolutely free of charge. I'm also going to share with you a little trick that I use to help increase your speed of reading while still being able to retain everything that you've taken in. Stick around to the end of the video for that little trick. So I had actually heard about this book a couple of years ago, but never really thought to give it a read myself. Until I came across it recently in person, read the review on the back, and instantly thought I should check it out. Let me read it for you. The Motivation Manifesto is a poetic and powerful call to reclaim our lives and find our own personal freedom. It's a triumphant work that transcends the title, lifting the reader from mere motivation into a soaringly purposeful and meaningful life. I love this book. Now that review was written by Paulo Coelho, the author of The Alchemist, if you've ever read that book. One of my favorites growing up. So I thought, such a powerful review coming from one of my personal favorite authors, how can I not check it out? The book itself is a great little read. It's about 230 pages and very, very well written. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It has a bit of a poetic flow to it. It mixes modern day psychology with ancient wisdoms. It's got quotes in there from people like Seneca, Albert Einstein, Mahatma Gandhi, and many, many more. The Motivation Manifesto is basically about freeing ourselves from self-doubt, fear, and daily distractions so that we can live a more fulfilled life. The book's broken down into 2 parts. The first section covers 3 areas of human nature: freedom, fear, and motivation. And the second section is the actual 9 declarations that are going to help us live a more fulfilled life. So let's dive right in, and I'll share with you my 3 favorite thoughts from this book. My first favorite part of this book is when Burchard talks about the 2 enemies that we all have in our lives that try to stifle our progress. One is the external enemy, or basically society's expectations of us and the stifling of our potential by others. And the second enemy is our internal enemy, or as Burchard calls it, self-oppression. Our own negative thoughts and actions that stop us from pursuing our dreams. Our fears, our worry, our self-doubt, and all of the distractions that we give ourselves every single day. Burchard writes in the book, "Many of us have given up our dreams in order to follow a more secure, profitable, and socially acceptable life." Wow, now I'm guilty of that for sure, and I'm sure many of you are as well. I've actually just gone through that when deciding to start this YouTube channel. I had all sorts of self-doubt and fears. What if nobody watched? What if my video quality was horrible? What if it was too much for me to take on and I wasn't able to complete the 30 days? Negative thought after negative thought. But then I asked myself one simple question. I said, Almer, if none of that mattered, if it didn't matter whether 1 person or 1,000,000 people watched your video, if it didn't matter whether your quality was novice or blockbuster, if none of that mattered, would you still go ahead and start this YouTube channel? And for me, the answer was a very easy yes. I really wanted to do this, and it's something I had been thinking about for several years. I thought I'd really enjoy it. It would help fulfill my life a little bit more, and it would give me something to occupy my free time. So what's really holding me back? Nothing that really matters. My second favorite thought in this book is when Burchard describes to us the 3 types of people that will stifle our growth, whether intentionally or unintentionally. The first is the worriers, and a lot of the time it's our own family, our loved ones, our friends. And it's not that they want to hinder our progress, it's that they're genuinely worried for us. They're afraid of the pain that we might suffer if we fail. So not bad people. In fact, they think they're looking out for you. The second is what Burchard calls the weaklings, the ones that don't believe in themselves, so they project that onto you, the lazy, the unmotivated. And the third type of person that will stifle your dreams is what Burchard calls the wicked. Now these people we all know. It's the haters, the jealous ones, the ones that will go out of their way and do everything in their power to cut you down. In the book, the author gives us techniques on how to deal with these 3 types of people so that we can persist and go on to living a fulfilled life. The third thought that Burchard shares with us that really hit home to me was 9 different roles or characteristics that we should all be playing in our own lives in order to live a more fulfilled one. 1, the observer, having the ability to step outside of yourself and see how your life may look from a different perspective. 2, the director, having the ability to direct your own life. Don't let life just happen to you. Take the wheel and decide the direction that your life is going. 3. The Guardian, taking care in what and who we allow into our lives. The circle of people we keep around us, the information we consume, and so forth. We must protect our lives and our mindsets and what we allow in. The 4th role is that of the warrior, having the courage to fight for what you want in life. Again, both the external and the internal enemies are out to knock you down. So you got to be able to fight against that. The 5th is the lover, being caring and compassionate to the loved ones in our lives, knowing who you are fighting for, and remember that you should be on the top of that list. And the 6th and final role that we should all be playing is that of the leader. Knowing that we lead by example in everything we do is very important to understand. Whether we acknowledge it or not, there's always someone out there who's watching us and looking to see what they can learn from us. So embrace the role of the leader in your life and inspire others to do better. So those were personally my favorite 3 thoughts of the book, but there's many, many others that you should go and check out. Overall, I highly recommend this book. It's nice and short with some really powerful points. So thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, guys. And as promised, I want to give you all the opportunity to get your own copy of the Motivation Manifesto absolutely free. And also I'm going to share that tip with you guys on how to increase your speed of reading while still holding on to all the information you've taken in. So when I'm reading a book, I like to pick up a physical copy as well as listen to the audiobook at the same time. I personally use an app called Audible, which allows me to download 1 free book per month with my subscription. I take that download and I go ahead and I read the physical copy as well. What that allows me to do is better retain the information that I'm reading. What I also do is I increase the speed of narration, 1.2, 1.5, depending on how fast the narrator is actually reading himself, and that allows me to rip through a book much faster than I typically would. This book, for example, the Motivation Manifesto, is typically a 6-hour read. I was able to get through it in about 4 hours due to this strategy, so I definitely recommend you checking it out. And to get your free copy of the Motivation Manifesto, Audible is currently giving away 2 free audiobooks with any membership. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can go and take advantage of that. So that's it, folks. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and the breakdown of the book, The Motivation Manifesto. Go and check it out for yourselves if you want, and leave me a comment below letting me know if you've already read this book or if you plan on reading it in the future. Don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos.